Self-acceptance with chronic illness is a really tricky one. So I'm going to narrow it down. I think the biggest thing and the biggest problem that we run into when living with a disability or a chronic illness is that we are constantly comparing ourselves now to the old version of ourselves pre-diagnosis. This is going to royally set us up for failure because it's not like we're in competition with someone else. We're in competition with ourselves. That is disaster in the making and completely designed to screw you up. So we have to start looking at the now and the person that we are and the changes that we've made and the things that we've learned about our illness or our disability and start being more accepting of who we are now. Because all those little things that we have done and all those little things that we have failed and screwed up have led us to the person or the patient or the advocate or, the entirety of who we are as a person now. So we oftentimes, at least I do this, is I'll say, well, gosh, I can't do this anymore. Or I wish I could wear those heels again. Or I wish I could, last as far as energy goes to be able to spend the day at a theme park or a museum. But I know that I have to do things differently now. Do I miss some of those things? Hell yeah, absolutely. There are times where I get a little bit bummed out where I can't do things that I used to do, or I have to do things entirely different. But living with a chronic illness means we are constantly evolving and constantly changing because our condition is constantly evolving and constantly changing. Accepting your new reality can be a hard pill to swallow because, again, you have a completely clear comparison of what used to be and what you used to be. So the hardest thing that I hear for a lot of people when dealing with a new diagnosis like multiple sclerosis or a new chronic illness is their inability to let go of the past. They want to hang on to that version of themselves and they want to clutch it because it's comfortable, because they know it, because they were so familiar with it. But I really think that the second we allow ourselves to be more comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's the place that we're going to allow ourselves to have more growth. The second you allow yourself to get complacent with what you were comfortable with or what you knew, you're not going to grow. You're going to stay stagnant. You're just going to stay in the same place because you're too afraid of trying something different or too afraid of letting go to see who you're going to become or to see who you have the ability or the capability of becoming. So please stop. I am begging you. Stop comparing yourself to the old version of yourself. If we did that, then we would all be walking around with diapers, messing ourselves. Wait a minute. Some days I do that. We would be on a school bus doing the things that we did when we were a kid. We've evolved, we've grown, we've developed, we've transformed into a different person. We've matured. Let go of what you're hanging on to. Sometimes what you're hanging on to is actually a dead carcass that needs to just be cut off for new life to grow. Think of yourself like a plant. Adjusting to new unpredictable symptoms with your chronic illness can be really, really tricky. It's like, wait a minute, I got used to functioning this way. Now I have this new hurdle in my way. Wait, now I'm supposed to function with this. It's a lot. Getting used to continual changes is key. Don't get too comfortable too long because you never know when it's going to change. We are constantly praising ourselves for our victories. Hey, I just got a raise. Hey, my friend got engaged. Hey, we bought the new house. Hey, have you checked out my new Lamborghini? Because most of us can afford Lamborghinis. Right. We're constantly proud of our successes, which we should be. We should be praising ourselves and sharing with those around us. Hey, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. I'm doing this. How exciting. How amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But when it comes to talking about our disasters, we don't want to talk about it. It's all hush, hush, hush. And it's silly. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the second we start embracing our disasters, we're owning it. We're owning the crap. We need to own the crap. The crap and all of our failures and all the things that we suck at add up to who we are today. And I am a firm believer, and you can unlike me now if you don't agree with this, and that's totally fine. Just based on my own experience and my own testimony of what I've gone through and how I think that everything has happened for a bigger picture. I do believe that everything happens for a reason, but you're not going to see how everything happens for a reason if you're entering into it in a negative headspace and you're seeing all the bad and you're picking it apart and you're over analyzing and being completely over analytical to the point where you're sucking the life out of it. So I think when we start to really own our disasters and own the mess, you can kind of like widen your perception and see, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I could see how this disaster helped me figure out this decision, or, this mess kind of formed me into being stronger. So I'm able to overcome and cope with X, Y, and Z. You will never be able to accept your now if you are continually comparing yourself to who you once were. So I really, really hope that what I've shared today about self-acceptance and comparing yourself to the old version of yourself, I hope some of it rang a little bell in your head of realization of, maybe I need to look at things a little bit differently. And I'm just going to say it, subscribe. Hey, you should subscribe. And if you're not following me here, be sure to head over to my website at www.ahadamess.com. There's a blog, there's a partner tab, there's what else is on there? There's a bio, there's all sorts of fun stuff, and there's a 411 tab. So if you were newly diagnosed with multiple sclerosis or know somebody that could use some helpful information, head over to my website, go to the 411 tab. There's a lot of helpful, resourceful tips and resources there that you could share. That is all. I am so awkward on film. Thank you for letting me share. Bye.